Hi there, Nita here. Let's get crafting. So I want to make a kitty craft with you. First, you're gonna need a kitty cutout and a bunch of different patterned papers. I chose these two different ones because they both have the same orangey color, and I think they go together really good. I like the way they look together. So, as you can see, I am accordion folding. I fold up, then flip the paper over, then fold down, then flip the paper over, then fold up, then flip the paper over, then fold down, then flip the paper over. Yeah, very repetitive. But you do that until the entire paper is folded, and then you get this accordion looking thing. Zigzag. Excuse me. All right, so with a paintbrush, I'm applying white glue down the center, not the whole width of the paper, just the center. And when I finish putting the glue all the way down on one side, I'm going to fold it back up and squish and hold and count to at least 30, preferably 60. One Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi, five Mississippi, six Mississippi. This is going to require patience because if you let go too soon, before the glue has a chance to dry a little, your stuff's not gonna stick. You might want to use a glue stick or double-sided tape, maybe less messy. As you can see, I'm rolling up the glue that got on my fingers and in my nails and stuff. And it doesn't take as long to dry. Well, tape doesn't need time to dry. Uh, but I use white glue because it's so readily accessible. All right, now you repeat. Accordion fold your other patterned paper. And yeah, you're just gonna do this exact same thing. Fold it all the way, open it up, and apply the glue, and then pause. So I actually was scouring the interwebs for a kitty craft for a birthday party, and I didn't see many crafts that I felt like were impactful and wouldn't take too much attention to detail. Because, the age range of this party, if it was too many little things that had to go perfectly, then, it just wasn't going to turn out very well. I feel like with this craft, you can be, you know, not exact and it still looks awesome. So I saw a lady who was making what is it, like a mystery pouch thing? I don't know. And I saw an accordion fold used for the dress of the kitty. And I was like, oh my God, I can do that. But I didn't see a craft video on that specific thing. So I did a couple trials to figure out how to do that, what size paper to use, and things like that. Um, and so here we are with this kitty craft. And by the way, the kitty shape, that white paper up there, I cut that out on my Cricut. Um, yeah, I didn't go looking for Hello Kitty um, cutouts. I just found one and built it actually from the different shapes that are available in Design Space and cut it out. So, very affordable activity here. Yep, being patient with the glue. All right, so now that we've got all three of our accordion folds glued together, let's draw on that face, which is super simple. You need two colors, black for the eyes, yellow for the nose. Make those eyes really big and bright. I like to add these like glistening eye bubbles with a really dark outline. So it looks like, my kitty is very bright-eyed. And then lightly color it in. So I've got a dark, harsh outline with a, gentle black coloring in for the pupils. I added a couple eyelashes because, that's super cute. And then a horizontal oval for the nose. Simple, simple. And then I'm going to apply a adhesive magnet. This way, when you're done with your kitty, you can stick it to the fridge or whatever magnetic space that you have. Okay, let's get these whiskers on. And we're just going to glue the very tip edge of a whisker. And I like to start in the middle, right in the middle of the eye, not too far inside from outside the cheek. And that's going to be the middle lash, and then add one above and one below. Use lash. Did I say lash? Should have said whisker. And these whiskers are pretty long, but when you see the bow on her, it will all make sense. And yeah, I said her. You don't have to make it a girl kitty. It could be a boy kitty. Um, maybe it would wear a bow tie instead of a hair bow. I don't know. But I made mine to be traditionally feminine. So we got all the whiskers on, pretty bright eyes, and let's get the dress going. So I need to add some more glue down one side because we're gonna fold it in half and stick it together. You didn't see that part, but you see how it's stuck together there. So it was folded in half. This is going to be the hair bow, and I'm spreading out the folds because I don't want them to be too close. I want the ends to pop out like a hair bow would. So I'm just kind of spreading that open, getting my measurements together so I know where to put the glue on the bow. And yeah, gonna apply the glue just to on the edge in one small spot on either end of the bow and also on the center. And when I put it on the kitty, I'm gonna smush it. Well, where the glue is, that is. I'm gonna smush it there. And don't worry about like, oh no, the fold is not folded anymore. It'll still look great. But I just want to make sure that it's sticking, you know? And as we've been doing this whole time, wait. Hold it down and wait. Keep on waiting. Uh-huh. Ta-da! It's looking great. So we've got the bow up there. Still waiting to make sure that that glue is really adhered. And then the same way, like this is going to be folded around the fold. And this is why you gotta have a video to really show what's happening. So half of that is going to wrap around one side, press it down, make sure it's glued there real good, and then you're going to add glue to the other side. Right there, there was a tear, so I was trying to fix that. And then fold the smaller piece. Oh, it's off camera. No. um, Around. Gosh. Hopefully, when you see me put it down, you'll understand what I meant by fold it around. There you go. um, And then, so while that's drying, I tried to measure a decent sized square so that I can cut out a circle to go right in the center of that bow. And the first two circles I made were entirely too large. But I always recommend like making small subtractions, um, because you can't add paper once you've cut it. I mean, technically you can. It just won't be as seamless. There we go. That's a good decent size. Good decent size. You see how huge that bow is? Then it makes those whiskers, make a little more sense. They don't get lost behind the bow. So I'm adding just a touch of glue, not across the entire circle because the whole circle is not going to be touching the bow. And waiting, giving the glue a chance to dry. Waiting. All right, now, very carefully, we're going to spread open our dress. So we've got the skirt part there, and I'm going to apply some glue. Again, don't worry about the folds, just go ahead and smush it down. And be very patient with this part because there's so many places that are pulling, creating tension. So if you let go before that glue really has a chance to do its adhesiving, yeah, it'll just be like. And speaking of, that side there was giving me grief. Gosh, and I counted to 30, I counted to 60, and it just did not want to stay down. Um, in the end, you couldn't even really tell. So it wasn't a big deal, which is why I like this craft. If, we're dealing with people who aren't, you know, what is it, meticulous, it's fine. It'll still turn out to be a great craft. See, I'm like, okay. And it still didn't stay. All right, so now we're going to separate the fold a little bit for the shirt part of the dress. Oh my gosh, it's coming along. And we're nearing the end here. Like, once we get that top part glued down, we are done. Hmm. Coffee. Love it. And I just love these two colors. Like when I do this craft, I like for the children to choose at least two different patterns of paper just to help them explore and experiment with composition. Not everything has to be matchy matchy. We can have two different patterns and it looks totally great. Oh my gosh, isn't that so cute? Ah, and you got the magnet on the back. Done. You don't have to worry about, taping it to a wall or whatever. Just pop it on the fridge. You're done. Thank you.